Irony doesn't get any better than this. I'm going to read this to you. Quick reading of the American Academy of Pediatrics with knives. They had this great, wonderful nugget of wisdom on how to teach us how to be as moral and ethical people. How do we teach boys about consent and respect in dating, and when is the best time to start? Pediatrician Dr. Gary Kirkalas helps parents navigate those questions on Your Radio MD. Okay. They hid your reply. Maybe start by advocating for boys to take responsibility for their own choice, for their own bodies. Work to stop all non-medically necessary child genital cutting. It's barbaric. It has negative consequences. Birth. How can you teach a boy consent when his body was violated in his most vulnerable moments? It starts at birth. By example, by respecting their fundamental, unalienable human rights to body integrity. It is unethical to perform non-therapeutic elective surgeries on newborns. Circumcision of a healthy boy is a lesson that if you have power over someone, consent isn't needed. Very well put. Consent, meaningless platitudes from you. Best time to start is shortly after birth. How about AAP come out against all non-therapeutic genital cutting for all kids? Any irreversible non-therapeutic surgery must require consent from the owner. Millions of boys did not consent. Start in infancy by not violating their penises with pound circumcision probes and clamps. No wonder men are angry. The right to their whole body was violated. Step 1 will be to stop promoting the abuse and mutilation of healthy boys, baby boys, without their consent. TLC Tugger. You can't teach no means no while strapping down a healthy, normal boy so you can perform genital reduction surgery that just could as easily wait for his rational, informed consent. Pound I2, pound hypocrisy, pound at American Academy of Pediatrics. By hiding replies, it shows that you do not care for those who have suffered from a surgery that was never needed. You are silencing those who are letting you know how wrong it is in an attempt to keep the status quo that there is no complaint. You need to come out against RIC, or routine infant circumcision. We can start by not violating their consent right after birth. The lesson of circumcision is consent doesn't matter. The claim that parents can consent on behalf of a baby to removing healthy, sexual sensitive tissue is a criminalist affront to the true principles of consent. No, officer, I didn't steal from the store. I consented for the store. Absolutely ridiculous. Maybe not regard theirs when they are born. That was good, Reed. Maybe not disregard theirs when they were born. The way to teach consent is by example. For example, you can stop violating his consent by stopping the forcing of circumcision on non-consenting children. Then he won't have a daily reminder cut into his body of how consent doesn't matter. On point, Reed. Mom for Intact. First, consent starts at birth. How can we be teaching anyone, especially our boys, consent when the first experience in the American male's life is strapping him down and removing his functioning foreskin? Consent starts at birth. No to circumcision. Pound consent matters. Hypocrites. My original tweet hidden, screenshots attached. Let's start by not usurping their consent by chopping or crushing part of their penis off. Reminds me of my aunt who said, "Do what I say, not what I do." This is hypocrisy in its essence. How about we break the vicious cycle and respect our children from birth? 15 square. Ryan Shuck. Do not speak of consent when you endorse and actively advocate mutilating infant genitalia. Ablating healthy, functioning anatomy is an affront to body autonomy and basic human rights. Many of the boys you speak of are victims themselves of non-consenting genital cutting. Political ANT. Good point, right? What does it say about your sincerity as an organization when you literally hide dozens of heartfelt responses to your disingenuous tweet about consent from people who did not consent to a hideous, reductive, and irreversible life-changing practice of which you tacitly approve? Not tacitly, they are the impetus behind great statement. just the word tacitly. I think it's more. I think tacitly means kind of not involved in the actual outcome. They are directly involved. How are you viewing the replies? Clicking on the hidden replies button sucks, doesn't it? You gotta click on the hidden replies. With a knife when they are born, you can teach them that consent is not their right. Okay, woke father. You will never be taken seriously teaching anyone about consent when you encourage ignoring their consent on the very day they're born. Change your own behavior around consent before you start preaching to the world. Yeah, exactly. I love that one, woke father. Enchanted Rainfall. American Academy of Pediatrics needs to join its more ethical peers in the rest of the world and quit underwriting routine secular infant circumcision. No more heaps of baby American foreskins benefiting nobody but greedy U.S. doctors, hospital, and cosmetic face cream industry. If this is a repost of a tweet hidden and censored by the morally corrupt organization advocating for the forced genital mutilation known as the American Academy of Pediatrics. Pediatrics. With knives. You hid 20 replies. Can you see the writing on the wall? American Academy of Pediatrics. The men of America have your number. Joe Harmony. Right on target. Enchanted Rainfall. The American Academy of Pediatrics are cowards who cannot handle the truth. Every child matters. Start by respecting their bodies and stop circumcising and mutilating their genitals at birth. Might help, right? Having your basic human rights denied is a horrendous thing. I would know, as mine were stripped from me when I was mutilated as a defenseless infant. It has caused me so much distress throughout my life. I don't know if you're in any position to be speaking about consent. Hiding those replies only shows cowardice and makes your organization look worse. This reply was hidden by the original tweet author. Look at all these. QW Jesse, I'm sorry you and so many men have had this forced on you. You deserve choice and body autonomy just like girls do. You're far from the only one. So many men think this way, but keep quiet for the fear of ridicule. So true. That's ending. That is ending. We got some men that are leading the way, and we are going to create the social wedge that can allow other men to allow their voice to find their voice. Suspended account. Huh, wonder if that I know who that might be. Okay. You go to John Atkinson's. They didn't even care about that. It was only social pressure that made them backtrack. Who knows what they were saying? Okay. Don't forget that other classy rapey excuse. He won't remember it. Nice one. Okay. The response tweet on this threads are incredibly phallus obsessed. A little disturbing how much of these some men are obsessing over a tiny scar. This is just the pathetic types of responses we hear from these low-class, uneducated people who have no idea of what the hell they're talking about. It's just so utterly ridiculous that you would even... It's kind of like, you show your face around here? You really have the... I mean, just don't even show your face around here, please. Okay, Atreo Arctics, who is obsessed with to cut children's genitals? Who is promoting a cosmetic surgery to customize and sexualize a child's genitalia? The most common form of FGM is type 1A female circumcision, the removal of the clitoral hood. What are you even talking about? Who is obsessed? Perhaps consider the history behind the practices of male circumcision, nothing to do with sex, disruption, or otherwise. A lie. You don't know what you're talking about. It was designed to prevent masturbation. Punish boys for masturbation. The Jewish Menomize and Philos all admitted that this was designed to disrupt and damage the male organ. And of course, it removes the most sensitive part and 3/4 of the nerve endings, including the most sensitive parts, the ridge band and the frenulum and the frenular delta. So people like this, I just wonder, like, where do you get the idea that you should open your mouth about this stuff when you don't even know? Okay, both are horrible and very similar in many ways, both done with religious benefits, both done with lies to cleanliness, both damage the natural intact body parts. One is a girl, the other one is a boy, and even intersex. You are justifying male genital mutilation on boys. Okay, Nicole, the boys AAP generally mutilates. You people, sir, are a joke. They say nothing to stop it. Even at one point, try to get FGM Type 4 made legal. An important point, and CGM generation intact. Yes, the world should remember that the AAP even suggested making certain forms of female genital mutilation acceptable in the U.S. That's the ethics we're dealing with. Their members profits from circumcision. As long as their doctors are doing it, it must be okay. What hubris. It's disgusting. Reed, you are on point. Radical MGTOW. The American Academy of Pediatrics just should get canceled already. True that. Cancel you. We need them for when the class action lawsuits come raining down, and we need to extract that money they've been stealing, ripping from our bodies. Yes, the AAP are even being sued for fraud and false claims when they promoted male genital mutilation. Circumcision is a fraud. Okay. A suit has been filed against the American Academy, which Pediatrics, which alleges intentional fraud and false claims in their 1989 circumcision guidance. Okay, I think that might be. Oh, here we go. This is a good one from Jimmy D. Are we friends, Jimmy D? Hold on. I'm sorry. Gotta follow him. Hey, teach our boys about consent and respect. Shut the fuck up. What message do you send and you give the green light to male genital mutilation, then turn around and it was your finger on those same males when they grow up and lecture them about consent? Yeah. All right, you guys get the point. We destroyed them. What an awesome opportunity. Please, American Academy of Pediatrics, please just open your mouth and insert foot every time. Thanks for allowing me to create awesome videos such as this. You guys basically you dig your own grave. You tie your own knots. We are going to take you down legally and destroy you financially. And all the doctors who have been doing this, who have been paying their Teslas off the genitals of little babies, you sick, disgusting psychos.
The string of this place to mark the proper location.
Circumcision denies a male's right to genital integrity and to a fully functioning penis.
Near the string of this place to mark the proper location.
Then we clap it.